probably made a wedding very cheaply done because there just wasn't the money, because I know there were ration cards. You were only allowed so much sugar, and you couldn't buy nylons, my mother tells me. You had to paint your legs and all that great stuff. So, we're starting off here with twins, Earl and Erwin Nelson, in their World War II uniforms. Today, our young model, Nate, if you wish to come out, is wearing one of their uniforms. Walk up on the stage here. And I saw this uniform about 20 years ago at school when one of the gentleman's grandsons wore it. And I really didn't realize when the soldiers went to war, come on out, they carried all their worldly possessions in this duffel bag. And they had to carry as a cup and a spoon, medications. They probably had to change, I don't know if they had to change of clothes, if they had another uniform. I can't remember what was said. And he will be escorting all of our war brides married through the war, on the stage. You can come out here, and he also has the original hat that the one twin wore. And an interesting thing is that the twins went to war and they came back in one piece, which is very good. Okay, and here they are later on. Many years later, Earl and Erwin posed with their medals at the Fred Campbell Legion branch in Mount Forest. Okay, thank you. You may go. Dance dress? No. Day dress. Sorry, I can't read here. Cotton print, full skirt, handmade, and you would wear this shopping around, and we still wear still wear a hat. You don't have a hat to go with it? That's okay. And stockings, oh yes. Remember the days when you never saw any woman with slacks on? There was always dressed. If you watch the old movies, they all look dressed up like they're really going somewhere. Okay, Sarah? Down and... Now, this is
Irene.
Irene. Okay, Irene. We don't, okay, we'll just stop here. Like I said, this is just our first. We put in Violet's picture. Her daughter wanted it in. Okay, we'll just wait. Now, can you go to Luke Colby and Irene?
I think so.
Okay.
One more. No.
No. One more.
There we are.
No, we want
There.
Right. Irene Colby's wedding dress. You may come out here. It's Melissa, so you would be what to Irene? Rebecca, sorry. You would be a great niece?
Yes.
A great niece is wearing her dress. And this really scared some of the girls because young girls don't know what slips are anymore. So these are lace panels here. So she said, I need something underneath here. It'll be a real show. Anytime. So this, turn around and look at all those buttons. Someone told me to bring a crochet hook, but I forgot. So it took a long time to get in and a long time to get out of that dress as well. Thank you. Irene was Violet Fisher's sister. And of course you will notice we are having our colors as a little bridal bouquet, and you'll notice our ribbons around here are for purchase at the back. Please buy one if you're in the township, even if you're not. Help support our homecoming. And the bicycle on the stage, kind of a neat idea. This dress is from Donna Main, and she got it 7 years after somebody else had it. And you wore it to a graduation. And I think the coloring is just gorgeous on her. She looks really great. It's beautiful. And Donna wears it now and again, do you? Thank you. This is Brianna, the great-granddaughter, I believe, of Mary Beersford, who just passed away here recently. And it's a beautiful dress. And even the shoes, I believe, are the ones that Mary wore at her wedding. So it all fits. It's a beautiful dress. She certainly kept it up, and she was noted for her crocheting. She did beautiful work. I don't know if her great-granddaughters are crocheters, but I'm sure Mary was just a lady with all kinds of wonderful talents and just a wonderful person. Thank you. She was married in 1942? No, 45. No, 1945. Yes. Yes, a beautiful dress. Beautiful dress, and her and Norm lived here in Ayton all their lives, and apparently the wedding reception was held at the bride's parents' home like they did in those days. Of course, it was, at the war, not a lot of money. On concession aid at Jacob and Anna Fisher's home. Thank you very much. And I believe someone said something quite unique. This is Abigail Hahn. She is wearing a blue two-piece 1950s cape, handmade, with Aurora Borealis jewelry. And I remember my mother had all kinds of it. It sparkled like the Northern Lights. And it's from Buffalo. So come out in the front and do a little turnaround. Maybe you want to open up your cape. And it's kind of easy. You didn't have armholes to go through. And of course, a lady in the 50s would never go out without a hat on, and even gloves. Very nice. Thank you. And Victor. This is Mark and Victor. Mark and Victor were married at St. James Lauterbach, which is now closed. And it's really a beautiful dress. It has a skirt inside, like an outfit inside, and then it's the overlay, and I think there's Lily the Valley. And you can see the beautiful headpiece she had. And now I gotta remember some of the things I read about this. Victor was in the war, and I remember he told me that he used to interrogate German soldiers that were caught, and he said one of them called him a traitor in German, because I guess they thought he was from Germany, but he was from Ayton. And they were married, and the party was at the Ohm residence, concession 12, and the two Ron, there was a Ron Leibold, and the two nephews put a rope across, and they made the groom pay to move on. Okay, thank you. Now, this is from Irene Colby, and it was written on the paper that it's a tea dress. I don't know much about that kind of thing. And she has in her hand Mark Eisenbach's Going Away hat. In the old days, brides always had a going away outfit, and we have one that we're going to show you. I mean, that's a cute dress. You probably could wear it today. I love the gingham. And this is Brianna Hahn. Now, Sarah is wearing, you can guess, an end of the 1950s Asian style dress with coolie straw hats. The World of Susie Wong. I've heard the name, but I can't think too much about it. It would be gorgeous right now. It looks so good. Thank you, Sarah. 70s, do you remember jumpsuits?
It's mine. What's she doing in my jumpsuit?
A jumpsuit, and this is handmade, and it says cocktails? No, I think so. Yes, cocktails, I guess, the Manhattan and all those wonderful drinks. You go out and buy Russians, she says here. So if we watch old movies there, we can probably see all kinds of people wearing these. They would have been very comfortable. Where is it again? Yes. Thank you very much. A 1950s house dress. We should all look this good when we do our housework. This one is from Paris, France. But everyone wore this style. And the apron, of course, we spoke about. If you want to come up, Brianna, and do a little twirl around and see it, it's beautiful. Polka dots are always wonderful. Thank you very much. We needed it a few days ago when it was so cold. Not yesterday. Now, this, sorry, this, I said we're just amateurs at this. Sarah is wearing a 1950s fur shrug and hat. And everyone well-dressed woman had one. A stole, hat, and gloves for lunch or dinner. So she was going out on a date or going out to some of these fancy places you see in the old movies. You'd be all dressed up. You're blue. How many people remember crinoline? The material that would never die. You could wash it and wash it, it would still keep its shape. This is a blue crinoline go-go dress. Anyone remember the go-go boots we used to wear? 1960s groovy, handmade, sale, buy. It's beautiful. You can wear it today quite nicely. Thank you very much. She's not used to lifting her skirts. This is Lydia, looking very, very grown up and ready for a night on the town. A black velvet evening gown in the late 1950s. Very Hollywood, and with a sequined Julia cap. Anna Plume, old dance hall, Bender's Dance Hall in the south of Ayton in 62, and they were married in 64. You can come up here. Raymond attended Hampton, and Donna attended number 15. And going around taking pictures of all the schools are now one of my mother's many dresses, and my sister Debbie is wearing it. And you can just enjoy the frivolous detail, the wide legs, the color, and you could have worn the dress yesterday because it would have been very cool. It's the backless kind of dress. And thank you, Mom, for bringing it. Okay. Thank you, Deb. This is another one of my mother's dresses. I don't really know what to call it. It's rather difficult to get into because if you don't pull one part up, the front of you is showing the dresses. Now, I don't know a lot about fashion, but anyway, it's kind of unique and it looks very good on Sarah. Now this is a dress that was worn by Weimauer probably in the early 60s. And it's that A-line structure. I don't know what the material is, but Vi was fairly tall. Yes, well, Vi was fairly tall, so, but anyway, it looks good on her, and I think you probably could wear it today. Okay, thank you.
Wait till I tell her about that. What's the boy's name?
Bridesmaid dress. This is from Paul and Ruth Pepper's wedding. Elaine Chalmers, seated at the far right of the picture, had that, and she said it's gone through kids playing with it, and it's in remarkably good shape. It's very beautiful, and I'd like to thank Elaine for letting us use it. And there you see Paul and Ruth were married 1966. I was a bridesmaid in her wedding. And this is her dress. She'll need some help to get up those stairs. Good. And you'll see her picture over there. And beside Lori is his mother, Lavina. And she is wearing, Abigail's wearing Lavina's dress. It too has been in a play bin, and it's really well preserved. And I think she bought it at Lindenbaum's in Hanover, if you remember Lindenbaum's. And apparently the story is that Lavina loved lace. And she thought she had the only one-of-a-kind dress for when she got to the wedding. a lady from Windsor or somewhere had the same dress on. They had good taste. Okay. Audrey can't be here today, but I'm sure I remember it was a beautiful June day. It was wonderful weather. The sky was blue. I can hardly. Okay, now here we have a bride, Eunice Penny. This is her outfit that she wore. And Hallie thought the black hat would just top it off, and it doesn't. It's very hot. I mean, you can almost wear it now. And you'll see their wedding picture is on the screen. And Eunice and Jim had Ray Scott as the best man, and Sheila was the maid of honor, patron of honor. And Rebecca, thank you again. I guess when you buy wedding and all that kind of stuff, the colors of maple leaves. Now this is teamed with a red skirt from Hallie, and they put a belt on it. And of course you had to have the hat. Okay, a modern twist on a centennial version, and of course next year we're going to be 150 years old. How many people have their centennial dresses that they made in '67? I know. Pardon? Okay.
Betty was good at
This. Now, this was Vera Henning's bridesmaid dress that Eunice wore at her sister-in-law's wedding. Eunice, when was it?
73.
73,
Yeah.
thank you. The high-waisted dress. It's a beautiful dress, and it's really
Right.
held together quite nicely. Okay.
There we are.
Oh, and the hat to go with. I never ever saw them on him. I would assume this was from. Okay, you can turn around and twirl. Okay, thank you. I don't know if my brother ever wore them, but my sister-in-law said she found them when she was cleaning, so I said, we have to have them. I would imagine they're worth money now because people do like to buy the old things, and it's really in good shape. Thank you very much. The late 60s. Now, I happened to meet a lady called Grace Hodges, and she is from England, and she's been in Canada for 30 years. And her husband told me that she had saved all the stuff from the 60s. So the first item is a poncho, and I believe that her mother made it. So she has to get herself out of it. It would be really warm. That's okay. And underneath it is a peasant dress. How many remember peasant dresses? I wore mine out. And this is one that her mother made. Her mother was a very crafty lady. And I think that's velvet. And she brought all these things with her when she came from England. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Very pretty.
Okay? She teaches in a school. She gives private lessons. Anyway, she told me that she made this suit on a knitting machine, and it's beautiful, and it's a type of silk. So she's not here to tell me I'm wrong, so look, I'm feeding you the right information. And this was a shawl, or whatever, that she brought, and it's beautiful. It's beaded. It's gorgeous. It would just look so beautiful today. So those are handmade suit. If you look back in the old patterns, you often see knitted suits, and they're beautiful. And she also sent a camisole and a slip along because it is see-through. And apparently, well, we'll see some other. It was a little whiter 46 years ago. This is my dress that I bought at the DF shop. for $125. They really had a good sale on. And I wanted a dress like this. I didn't want one of those poofy ones. If any of you remember Mrs. Kreller, who lived in town here, she sewed her daughter's wedding dress, and I happened to see it. It had a lace coat, and I thought, that's what I want. And so when I went to the DF, I saw this. Now, I wasn't brave enough. I would be now, but this came as culottes. Anybody know what culottes are, like pants? I wish I would have kept them as pants, but I was a little scared. And I guess you can wear it today. It's really... And I just threw it in the washing machine too. I have no idea what material it was, but it came out really well. And I just thought, boy, my first salary was $4,800 a year, and I thought I had the world by the tail. Okay, thank you, Abigail. I didn't look that good in that. I know I was reading about some of the history of these dresses, and they talked about box. I was reading about Mary Quant, I think it's Quant, from England, and she started a change to simple A-line dresses, and they always had a white collar, a little girly collar. And I don't know what the material is either, but I threw it in the machine, washed up, and there it is. Cuffs, yeah, the cuffs, a little skinny top. And if I was small enough, I'd be wearing that, but I don't know, I'll have to do something. Okay. And here we have, okay, now, this is yours, Donna. I got the paper for that.
This is yours?
This is from 1979, and the dress was worn for the 40th wedding anniversary of her parents. It's a Joseph Ribkopf label. How many have a Joseph Ribkopf? Yes. They last forever. They cost a lot, but they do last. It's 100% polyester, but hand washable. And I think it's just beautiful. You can just wear that today with no problems. The right accessories? Yes, thank you. Now, Donna was telling me, and she's very floral, maxi dress. Remember the maxis and the minis? From England. The Summer of Love. Flower Child. Remember the Flower Child? The 1970s. And my friend Joan, who I seconded from Mount Forest to come and model, kind of coaxed her into help, and then I said, "You've got to model because I need someone." Now,
refuse Mary Lou.
well, mostly, yeah, that's right. Now, the shawl, this is from Grace Hodges, this outfit. The shawl, her and her mother knitted from the wool of their sheep. And she told me that the wool is different colors from different parts of the sheep. From the belly, it's the darker part. So they carded the wool with the carders, they spun it, and they knitted it, and it's just beautiful. And she said you could use it for a shawl. I bet it's beautiful and warm. It's like a spider's web. It's just gorgeous. Or else you could use it for a baby shawl. And it was made in I think the late 60s, early 70s.
Rebecca forgot her.
And it's just beautiful, yes. And this is another outfit that she did on her knitting machine. And I think it's a special kind of a silk, but my papers are back there. But I've seen them and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice to wear something like that? But she's all these beautiful clothes.
I never got out of it.
Now, I was researching Nehru jackets, and they are from India. And what happened in the 60s, there was all this talk about the war, and it said the young people were looking to different cultures to get ideas and how to live a better life. And they went to India because in 1947, India gained its independence from Britain without any fighting. Nehru was the prime minister, and he was a non-violent person. And apparently the Beatles went there for meditation. They saw the Nehru jacket, Just stop there, Deb. I haven't talked about the dress yet. Back up. They saw these neighbor jackets with the stand-up collar, and they started wearing them. And of course, what the Beatles wore, everybody wore. And they lasted a few years, and then it got old fast and so on. My mother made that neighbor jacket. You can tell by the paisley, the blue and the orange. Yes. And that dress that Debbie has, I think my mother got it for me at Katie's in Harrison, if anyone remembers that. And this was in Harrison. Yes, could be. And I wore this in 1967, and it's missing one button, but I always thought it was nice, and it's the mandarin collar and the Asian influence. Thank you. Now I'll let you go, Debbie. No! I'm not getting into it. This is one of the dresses that her mom made for herself. Because how many ladies sewed in the 50s and 60s? You made your dresses, you made stuff. And it's a testament to this tiny woman, because she wasn't even 5 feet, was she? 4'11". She had 5 children cesarean. That was pretty good in those days. Yes. And she was a Wepler. She was the daughter of Lavina and Alvin Wepler. Okay, so that's but we'll forgive them. Now, I gotta get my notes here. Now we'll do the bride first. We don't have a slide for this, but this is Nancy Beresford, daughter of Bert and Mary Beresford of Ayton, married Frank Dom, Lee and Eva Dom's son from R2 Ayton on August 21st, 1976. She didn't think she was married that long until she started thinking. See, the time goes when you're having fun, right? And the dress was purchased from the DF shop for $125 on sale. Okay, the bride can come ahead. Now, did you wear the veil down until they...
No, I had it back.
You didn't want Frank to lift it up and hit you
Well, I
like
guess
this?
not.
Okay, anyway, and she said that their wedding was the second function to be held in this new hall. And it was their wedding reception. This hall was built in '76. It was opened on July 18th, 1976. And they were the second wedding here. So they're married as long as the hall was in operation. And here we have a handmade wedding dress. This is Kathy Mauer's wedding dress. Kathy Eisenbach, that good German name. And her cousin, I guess, or your mom's cousin, made the dress. Florence Kreller made the dress. She also made all the choir gowns at our church in 1961, about 40 of them. And most of them have still held together. 1961, I should say. And you don't know how much the dress cost, but when Florence saw the pattern, she didn't like the idea that there weren't any cap sleeves. So she put these cap sleeves because she thought it was too daring. And then when everything was done and she saw the dress, she said, we really didn't need those cap sleeves. But anyway, they were there, and it's a beautiful dress, and Kathy's kept it in very good shape. And then there's the train at the back to go and hold up. Yes, and Kathy is tiny, and this dress is very, very tiny, but it's beautiful. And Kathy said that her and Glenn we didn't have a lot of money, so she went and bought the material, for $100, $50 to make the dress, and about $50 for the material. Okay, and of course, we can go to the next slide. The mother of the groom, Vi, is wearing this green outfit here. Very 70s, and this was in 1974. Okay. And the date of the wedding, I forget, Kathy? August 14th. Yes, and piece of wood. And I thought, gee, it looks so 60s. So cute. And that top is just beautiful. It's that filet crochet. And the pants are Jones. And the hat, I don't know where you got that. Oh, Hallie. That's one of Hallie's hats. Say that fast. Okay, thank you very much.
How are these people
say that to
saving all
young
these
people
things?
And they have no idea what you're talking about. They're very safe. I mean, there's nothing too erotic about the whole thing. But, you're covered on the top. And I think I got this at Ideal Ladies Wear in Mount Forest. I have no idea how much I paid for it, but it was in 1971. And I had Trevor in June, and this was my parents' 25th anniversary in September. So, and plum was the color. Nowadays, they don't seem to have a color for Susan's husband, who in the late 60s, 70s was going with a girl, not her, and whose sister was a
Home ec teacher.
home ec teacher, and she said that boys couldn't sew. So you don't say that to Ken. So he went out and made this top. So come on right out here and twirl around. And Ken is about what, 6'2"?
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, that's flower power was for the men too, I guess, not just the women.
But I had to research.
Jack and Donna was an off-white shirt with the purple and the white checked tie. And we had, Donna, how many of those rings would you have to go through to make sure that those ties stayed on there and didn't lose them? 2 or 3. And then we had Melanie was wearing one of the jackets then that sort of we moved into in the late 70s. And that would have been the jacket that you would have seen the Normanby Brass Band wearing when they're marching down the street. Yeah. And then the next one after that was the red one. So now we're getting into the mid-80s, late 80s, when those jackets would have been around. Thanks, Brooke, we recruited her last minute. And Michelle's wearing the jacket that she would have been wearing when she was in the band. And there's a sweatshirt underneath. And it has an Normanby Brass crest on it too, and then the white windbreaker on top. And so those were sort of dual purpose because you could wear the sweatshirt in the winter at Santa Claus parades and throw the jacket on. And if the summer parades were kind of cool, you could still wear the white jacket. So that was white. And then we finished up in the 90s and into 2001 with the hooded jacket there, the navy, back to the navy. And so anyways, those were the uniforms over the years that the Normanby Brass Band would have worn.
And he had a pink shirt that he wore with it. No, but the guy who owned that wore a pink shirt, and he wore it so much it fell apart. He loved that pink shirt. Good for him. And the top is part of Wayne Pepper's leisure suit. Now, they came in the 70s and 80s with the disco business, and I guess men wanted something that was more comfortable. And believe it or not, okay, I'll go into pantyhose when you're gone. Okay. So they said that leisure suits were good enough for men to wear to work, or they could go and wear them for parties. It was sort of